How we doing? Yeah, been gone, but unfortunately I had to take about a month hiatus off this car. One, busted my butt on it, and it kicked me back. Two, I ran out of money. So, rejuvenated some profits. Got a new intake. I don't know if I explained this in the last video or when I don't even know if, maybe I didn't. So what ended up happening was, we used this intake that we had that came with this motor, and we sandblasted it, cleaned it up, made it look real nice. Had to take one of the old plugs out, and we were taking the old plug out. It put a hairline crack in the actual intake, and that's right on a coolant port. Had to pull the intake off, clean it out. We tried to get it welded, which looked like it came out good. Still was leaking from a small little spot on it. So at that point, I just said, that's enough. I'm not messing around with this, with pulling this off, using a set of intake gaskets over and over again, and having to clean off that China wall, which is, everybody knows, a pain in the butt. So we got a new intake, some gaskets and other things. So today I'm gonna get this thing installed, get the old one off, clean that up. I'll bring you back in here once I'm start installing the new one, show you how I do my China walls and stuff like that. It's pretty same as probably everybody else does it. Obviously those gaskets in the kit, throw those away because those are junk. Always use RTV on those walls because you don't want a big leak there. So I'm gonna get started on that. I'm gonna clean up this the heads, the actual valley, and bring you back when I got the new intake out. Okay, so we got that intake area all cleaned up on the heads and the block. This is actually the spot. The plug that was in here was super rusty. You can see a little bit of grinding here and stuff where the guy welded. And I don't know if you can see that, but I swear it was leaking from right there. Like I said, we just had to ditch this one. This one looks pretty good. We ended up going with this Performer EPS from Edelbrock. Got an Edelbrock carb. I mean, sometimes it just looks better when they're both the same brand. This one obviously looks way shinier than this, but this one looked pretty good. Kind of same setup, I feel like. You got a deep, section on this right side, same thing here, and then shorter on the left. So just a couple, maybe these are like air brakes or something. It helps with flow. I'm not too sure because obviously this is an older intake, this is newer. So this is the one we went with. It was like 195 bucks at Summit. I drove down there, got it. Got some intake gaskets, some RTV. I'm gonna set you up in here. When I'm gonna plop this thing on here. I got these all cleaned up. The reason why I use RTV on the center, or these, I call them China walls, that's a nickname for them, is because, like, there's a groove here, there's grooves all over these things, and, like, just from time, the casting doesn't stay perfectly, flush or flat, so that's why I always use RTV, because the thicker the RTV, the more it kind of fills in these imperfections in the block. Because if you use just a rubber gasket like that, and you're trying to, rubber's not going to really fill imperfections, just going to cover it. And if there's a small gap there, you will have a leak. That's why I always, like they usually say, 1/4 inch bead across the top. I always make it pretty thick to where it oozes out, because pulling that off and cleaning that is no fun. Probably only takes you about 15-20 minutes to clean those spots, but then you have to worry about dropping stuff in the block and everything. Whatever. I'm blabbing. So I'm gonna set you up in here. We'll pull these towels out, try to make sure there's nothing in that actual lifter valley or in the intake ports or all that kind of stuff. Get the intake up here ready for me to drop on. And then I'll kind of walk you through as I'm going, putting that stuff on and dropping around there. So after I'm usually done cleaning one of these, I always take my towels or whatever I have in there and fold them all to the center, because you're gonna have little debris everywhere. Always just fold them in to a ball, pick them up, throw them somewhere, because just get them out of the way. See, like, look at this big piece in there. You don't want that stuff in there. Always just do a good visual. Make sure there's nothing crazy in here. All right, we should be ready to rock. So I'm gonna get the intake, like, just set it up here or something, and get that China wall built. Doesn't matter which one you do first. All right, so I always go with the Felpros. This part number is Felpro 1205. This doesn't have the cutout. If you had like a heat riser, I think they call it in there. So there is other Felpro part numbers that do have that. So if you do have that and you need to utilize that, make sure you get the right gasket set. Like I said, these are the cork pieces that come with it. There's some that come rubber. They do give you a new distributor gasket too, which is cool. And I always use the Ultra Gray, the Permatex. They do have that 5-minute stuff, but this stuff takes a little bit longer to set up. And you're not trying to rush to get the intake on. We're not here drag racing. We don't need to be back out there for the next pass or whatever, so we don't need that. This stuff, you know, cures a lot better because it takes a little bit longer, as long as you got a clean surface. So even though that this is brand new, I don't know if you can see me over here, I am gonna wipe down the ports on here, or at least on the actual mounting surface, because you never know if there's just a little bit of junk on there or something like that. Take the extra couple minutes to do this so that you could, you know, can have a actual good seal. All right, you guys might be a little rocky there for a bit, but it is what it is. So I left like the intake in my car, like inside last night and stuff like that, and same with this gasket stuff, because it got a little chilly here last night. Probably got to like, it was like they had a frost warning, which is stupid, but got down to like 30 degrees. It's mid to end of October, so I didn't want it to, like, the gasket or the RTV to be super cold and like not really malleable, I guess you'd say. I wish I had some gloves. I don't know. Oh boy, I don't know where Tony put the gloves at. So what we're gonna do is just wipe it on our pants. Yeah. So what I like to do is get a little bit of this gasket sealer out, take a bit of it, go around the coolant ports. Now I probably don't really have to do this because the actual heads are brand new, the intake's brand new, so the machine sections are pretty flat, I would say. But this is also to kind of just frickin' hold the gasket in place also, so it's not flopping all over the place. And when I did my intake on my red Camaro, my engine builder had this done, so I'm just kind of following what he does because he's a professional and I'm not. I'm just some guy who likes to mess with cars. So we like to follow what some professionals do, because realistically they should know better than me. So we're gonna set these guys on here. Let's set the RTV over here. Well, yeah, screw it. Let's stick these guys in. Oh boy, just smear the gasket material, that's good. And I always try to stick these to where the holes are right in the center of it, so that we don't have any issues with our bolts. Whoa, we got a big air pocket there, jeez. Just mush that together. And I always like to put a little bit in the corner here to where the gasket meets that actual intake gasket. Man, I swear they rob you in these tubes, or just get so much air in here. All right, y'all. We're gonna let that set up for a sec. Make sure our gaskets are in line. Back one's a little snaily, but that's okay. Like I said, I don't really think I need any gasket material or like RTV on this side, but I'm still just gonna do a small layer because I'd rather it be there than not and then have a problem. And I swear, you cannot do 2 intake gaskets with 1 tube of RTV. I don't know if they make bigger tubes, but I feel like maybe back in the day they used to give you more bang for your buck, you know? Like, why do I have to spend how much ever this RTV is? I think it's like 17 bucks or something like that for a tube. And then I have to buy these gaskets. I don't know. To me, it's aggravating. Because it's like, okay, so 1 tube and I have to do it all over again. You know, I have to go buy another tube, buy the Felpro gaskets. I don't know. Maybe I'm just complaining. Which, I am complaining. Alright. Here goes my favorite part. Oh, I was trying to set this thing on here. Which, to me, is no frickin' fun. Stop it. We're lined up pretty good. Very good, actually. I get this shaking when I'm doing this, because it's just so, to me, it's so tedious and temperamental, and you don't want to mess it up. Because then you have to pull it back off and clean it and do it all over again, man, and it's just so nerve-wracking sometimes. Well, that was pretty good. Got a pretty good gush. Definitely a good gush out of the back, because like I said, I loaded that one thick. But to me, I'd rather be too thick than not thick enough, and then have issues. Man, and this intake looks killer, dude. With that made in the USA in the front. Heck yeah, baby. Woo! Let's go. So right now I'm just hand tightening these. And then we're gonna, every time I watched Vice Grip, he always said, once you squeak this on, you know, snug these bolts up and go have yourself a cold snack and then come on back and torque it down. Many times that I've done it, I've just torqued it down, just gone down snug slowly. But can you imagine how many intakes Vice Grip has done than me? So I'm sure you know a guy or a feller knows what he's talking about. But everybody has their own way of doing things. And I have to get out of here anyway, and well, I have the ratchet, so I'll probably pull up the diagram for the process of torquing these. It's chilly out here today, but you know, sometimes I'd rather be a little chilly than sweating my butt off. Just look up your small block Chevy intake torque sequence. Realistically, you start from the center, work your way out. But I always just follow this because it's easier for me to read directions than not. So engine in the front, so your number 1's over here. Give that guy a squeeze. Number 2, tighten him up. Number 3, I just go till they're snug, move to the next one. And I'm hoping on this intake, we'll actually be able to get something in there for the center section, because on the old intake I wasn't able to get the actual ratchet and socket in there. The more you go, the more you feel them, like one will get looser than the other, and just because it's going down slowly, I always just go a little hump. There's the last one, and we're gonna go to number 1 again. And again, it's loose because, like I said, you're slowly bringing this intake down. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute, get the torque wrench and stuff, and look up the torque sequence, or actual torque of the actual intake. So these are 25 foot-pounds. So realistically, I'm just gonna go around. I don't know if I could reach these. So these middle ones, they may have to do with a wrench, which stinks unless I can find the, let me go see if I can find that real quick. So I got a swivel and stuff here. So it says 25 foot-pounds. So this is gonna feel very light on a 1/2 inch torque wrench, because 25 foot-pounds to inch-pounds is like 300, and my inch-pounds doesn't go up to 300. So we got this set at 25. I'm gonna pull up the sequence again here. When you're on a real short torque sequence, you wanna click that ratchet. See how light that is? Because sometimes if you push too hard, you may just push past it and you don't want to break anything. Just take your time. See how light that is? Man, that was actually 42 minutes of runtime, and that battery's not too bad on there. So this is actually, this tube says it's I think it's 24 hours setup time. That's what I left it for last time too. So we're gonna let it sit up for 24 hours. That's kind of all I really came here to do today. I do have a kick down cable. I've thought about going under there and getting that in. Maybe at least getting the old one out, because I just wanna, you know, make sure all that stuff's good. I do gotta pull all this stuff out of the old intake. I gotta get these plugs out. So maybe I'll do all that stuff, get all this stuff out of here, get the distributor hole down out. And you could see how hard I was cranking down on these, because I thought the actual leak was coming from the bolt, but it sucks. Learn from your mistakes. I did try to heat this up real good, just didn't work out. So yeah, I'll get all this stuff out, maybe get a couple things in the intake, but I kind of want to leave that alone while it sets up. So we'll see what I do here. Catch you soon. Is my hair crazy? I feel like it is. Anyway, so I got down there and got our kick down cable in, which is this guy right here. So he looks like he's gonna line up. I also test fitted the throttle cable, so like the pedal, oh my god, from the, you know, carb to the throttle, carb to the gas pedal. Anyway, that all looks like it's gonna work. So like I said, I'm gonna leave this thing probably cure for 24 hours before we start putting fluids and stuff in it. Cover up these holes, and yeah, come back maybe tomorrow or Wednesday and put some coolant in it. And honestly, we may fire it up, because that's the only thing we're really waiting for. So I gotta pull number 1 spark plug later on and make sure we're at top dead center, and then go from there. So I'll catch you guys soon. By golly, a little bit chilly out right now, but anyway, yesterday I came here So it's been about, I'd say maybe 2 weeks or so since I've been back over here. Just life got in the way, as so it happens. But I got over here yesterday, put some plugs in, yeah, yada yada. Put the car back on, put some coolant in it. I don't see any leaks, right? You see any? No. So I'm gonna make sure this thing's on top dead center. Drop the distributor back in, and Tony said he'll be back in a little bit, so I'm gonna clean some stuff up while I'm waiting, and then probably get ready to fire this thing. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Ready? Loud. Right. So why is it starting and dying?
Don't you do that?
It's supposed to be coming out of those two, that center, right? Yeah, nothing. Yeah, there's nothing in the filter.
And we have gas in the car, so.
Well, I don't know how much, you know.
You put in what?
I mean, this thing is, this thing's pretty full, you know. Is it out of gas? I mean, I don't think I put much in there, Tony. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's leaking. Wait, pouring out. What's going on?
Pouring out where?
All over the.
No, it ain't. It's just the reflection of it,
Oh,
Tony.
sorry. I'm seeing something moving.
Smelling too many fumes.
Whoa.
You're good, you're good. I'm watching it, Tony. That's a shadow. Gas in the car.
Always helps.
It does help. There's like nothing in the filter, man.
See, it's pulling it, but it's not pulling it. It's I believe it's pulling it. It's just not.
It's just trickling in there,
Yeah,
you know?
it's not getting something from the tank. Pump that accelerator once. Ready?
Yep. bowls, but it's just idle, you know. I tried to give it throttle there, it wanted to die. Whew! That open header life. Alright, y'all, so pretty much what we got going on is down in the fuel filter, it's just trickling into that fuel filter, and then when it sits here for a while, it fills up, and then actually fills up the carb, fills the bowls, and then we're able to let it run here for a bit. So we got a fuel delivery issue coming from the back. So we got to try to figure out what's going on here, but she sounds pretty good. Idle's good. I tried to give it throttle, it didn't want to do nothing. All right, you ready?
Yeah, fire her up. Check the timing.
Running good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was running good.
Probably sucked all that fuel throttle in it.
Yeah, sure. We gotta get that fuel issue taken care of.
Oh, I gotta let it fill up again. I gotta get a video.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Hopefully you can see me. I just left Tony's. Pretty good progress. You know, we got it sit there and idle for a while. Got the timing set. We did have that timing light on there, but Tony's pretty good with his ears. So, kind of just went with that for now. Because with that cam and stuff, I feel like you would need like a timing tape almost, because it's just, you know, you need a pointer and tape on there, because the cam's probably more, you're not going to just be at the stock timing setting, you know. I think timing set is at like 6 degrees or something like that. This would probably be at more like, you know, maybe 16 to even higher. I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me. If you know more, leave a comment. But yeah, I got that thing to sit there and idle. Obviously, we have a fuel issue, so I got to get that figured out. I did blow that line out, so I don't know why. Maybe I didn't, you know, I don't think I used a rubber tip, like air nozzle, so maybe it just wasn't enough pressure, or, you know, who knows? Maybe there's a kink in there somewhere where I didn't see. So I'll probably go over there in a few days and blow that out again, have Tony stand there and see if he sees any type of crap come out. But very good progress. Would like to get that thing to idle and stuff. Would like to see that thing move, but what we have to do is we have to get the front brakes on this thing. Wasn't going to do the rear brakes yet. I'm not really worried about that at this moment, but the front brakes at least, because if we want that thing to move, we got to have brakes, and there's no brakes on that car at all. So after we get that fuel issue figured out, get it running and idling and stuff, then we'll probably just move on. I'll probably move on to the front brakes and get those on, get them bled and stuff. Maybe just do the rears while we're there. You know, why not? And hopefully get that thing to move. And then in that meantime, while I'm doing those brakes and stuff, we'll find a drive shaft. Yeah, game plan right up there. Just organized. So I'll probably leave you there. Got it running. You know, no leaks out of the intake, so that's great. I did take a hiatus because, you know, I had to get the money for that intake. Those brand new aren't cheap, and you don't want to buy a used one, because you buy a used one and you spend $100 on that and it might leak. So you don't want to waste any money. I don't like wasting money, that's for sure. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, sorry it took me a while to get this out, but I had to, you know, take some time off and stuff because I got real aggravated. But thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. Hope you come back. Leave a like, leave a comment if you'd like to. For now, take it easy.